Are in Parliament, as you saw, and we're now joined by EFF spokesperson Dr. Ndlozi. Thank you for being with us, Doctor.
So, as you can see in today's videos, we're talking about 3 fighters of EFF. 2, I think they left EFF, but we learn from them, and their knowledge still matter today. The information they share still matter today. That's why we are reading on it, and to learn what they've said and the reason why they said it. It's all about, the topic's all about the land without paying any cent. But like, based on this, they're no longer EFF members, based on how we know us. But it's a reaction video, right? To learn from what they said and to understand why they said it. And same to me, I will share just my opinions, because I'll be reacting. Same to you can share yours, like comments, like these people who commented here, to show their opinion, to show they agree or disagree what they said. Remember, like, I think Wi-Fi, there's no Wi-Fi. I think Wi-Fi is bad. Wi-Fi, are you bad? No, Wi-Fi is not bad. You understand? So we're going to share what they said.
So it seems to me like everybody agrees that there should be land expropriation without compensation. This is oft-stated ANC policy now. You've been pushing for it for a long time. So what's behind the debate? Where does this lead to now?
Well, at the moment...
Oh, it's a debate. It's a debate of a land without paying any cent. It's a debate, man. So, like, we want our land without paying any money. Any money. Because the land was being stolen. We all know the history of South Africa. There's no comments. There's no comments, man. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm not sure that it's everyone. We had a ridiculous situation.
I guess there's enough political will to make it happen.
Well, there is, obviously, yes, I think I agree. That is the truth. We expect that tomorrow, at least the ruling party and a couple of opposition parties would support the motion. Because
the motion's like to get the land without compensating, because of when they stole the land, they paid nothing. Even though you're going to say, like, no, we paid, but that time things were all about advantage. Things were not done based on according to law. Things were not done according to peace, because of if like was there, those people, they will never come here with the violence towards our ancestors. You understand? They will never come with that violence to our ancestors. So the question of like, the question of like, the question of like, why at that time everyone was just taking because it was advantage, because of black people were so depressed and they were killing out, we were beating. So like, I don't think someone will be like, let me pay, while they see the other people from Dutch people from Europe, they're just taking the land. Doesn't make any sense.
they've come out stating clearly to be in favor of it. And most recently at the SONA, Ramaphosa made a commitment, the first president since 1994, to declare that government policy. So we are putting the motion to kickstart the process of coming up with a legal process, or rather to legalize this particular idea. And we are proposing an amendment to the Constitution, but it must be preceded by an ad hoc committee which goes to craft the proper
That's so beautiful, man. Even like you said, like, even Ramaphosa is the first president to ensure black people who those are being forcefully removed from their own land, that cause a poverty towards those people, because of when they took those lands, those people, they were living the best life. Just imagine, you're living nice life, having a land, having your cows, a big land. When you wake up, you know this land is bringing something to you. But those one came during apartheid, they did bad to them. So you say like that, I said like that, even like Julius, Ramaphosa is the first one to say the land is going to be returned, and let's say EFF members, they say like us are going to be on pushing the process, which is like gives hopes, man. It give hopes, because it's my first time watching this one, because of when you are young and as a black child, and you can see that people like Ndlozi speaking things like this, it get motivation, and it get yeah. That's all I will say.
And the proper legislation around that,
Yeah.
and then go on consultation, including consulting the public, as well as all stakeholders, whether it be civil society, academics, business people, to come on board, and we all sort of put our heads together about how best can we come up with laws that implement this in an orderly fashion.
Correct.
Or like, because you mentioned academies, you mentioned the business, you mentioned those, like how if they get the land, how they're going to run it, how they're going to benefit from the land. Your question is so nice, but I fail to understand it. What are you saying exactly? I think like this madam lady will ask me the question that I want to understand exactly. What in what sense?
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I wish I had the actual wording in front of me, but some lawyers I've spoken to say the Constitution actually leaves it open for this to happen. I think it's quite stringent. It's got to be in the national interest and things like that. But doesn't the Constitution already allow for this?
No.
Oh, this is like, guys, I don't know when there's no comments. We need to put other people. If you're watching this video, come on, you must be commenting on the chat there, so it can be so interesting. Because if this is a beautiful topic that we can learn from. Zero comments. Just imagine, on the land appropriation, no one is there, no one is watching, even on my stream. Where are the people? We're talking about the sales issue here. We're talking about the land. And I see no one on the comment section. I see no interaction to like who. Even in this video, man, I see no. You guys don't want land, shame. They were right. So like black people, they don't want land, they want jobs. This person say like black people, they don't want land. And this guy, he was like, black people, they don't want land. The only thing they want is jobs. The comments were not off, or maybe they didn't allow people to comment. Even I'm talking about serious matter. People, they're focused on their stuff. This is a serious matter that's going to affect us, and we can learn from them.
There has to be, you see, the question of expropriation is different to expropriation without compensation.
Okay.
But does it not say that's okay in the national interest?
It doesn't.
There's different appropriation, land reform, distribution. So this thing is all about the keywords of English words. These are all about the keywords where like you can confuse someone who don't know English, not someone, because the black people, they believe like you must speak English, you must speak English so that you can be educated. But it's just the keywords, man. If you explain with a simple English or with Swan or with Xhosa Zulu, someone will be able to understand what you're saying, which is so beautiful.
I mean, this came out very clearly, if you remember, at the expropriation bill, which was led by the deputy minister, who was the deputy secretary general of the SACP, Jeremy Cronin. And
this one must listen carefully, Richard.
There, what we had was a huge debate about the question of compensation. And
but this thing of paying people steal and you pay them. Like I said in the beginning of the video, at that time everyone was taking people from Europe. It was Christmas to them. It was Happy New Year. It was a blessing because of these companies that benefited from that. There's a business that been open that benefited from that. Remember when they pushed black people to a squatter camp, they are busy building businesses. They are busy building farms so that we can work for them. So it's a question of like when the people they came in, well, others, just imagine, let's say like we are Dutch, or let's say we are from Europe, You come here and you see other European brothers, they're killing people out there, taking land. You'll pay. Where are they taking for free? You'll pay. Doesn't make sense. Like, it needs lots of investigation, lots of open discussion, like what I'm doing here. This is an open discussion. And remember, no one is attacked. We are just reacting, and we can share opinion based on these reactions. I don't come here to nurse your feelings. You're sitting there and then it's like, don't say that, don't say that. I will say what?
They were not agreeing, so there's a debate. And it's good that we just amend the constitution to be explicitly clear. If we find each other upon legislation and we do not have a constitutional amendment, somebody will just go to the constitutional court and challenge it and then further delay the process of
so you
land
want
reform.
to make sure it goes
We want
through
to
clearly.
be very clear that for historic purposes,
Does anyone don't know about it? Everyone knows it, and no one know what happened in that time. And we can't come here and act like we don't know, because of people they want us to act like people. There are people who act like apartheid never existed. People they act like it never existed. They be like they be like this. They act like it never existed. We don't like people they acting like something never existed. And they be like, black people they must wake up, they must work, they must work. They must work we should work land. What do you work? Work by stealing, beating, killing? That's your work defined? That's what you define about black people must work, you don't know work? And when we go to all the companies, all the farmers, all black people are the one who do the work. Because of infrastructure, you're frustrated, man. To hear people say things like that. And we try to educate these people, say like these people are the ones who are working. These what people are the one who put the work.
there has to be expropriation without compensation for public use as well. But in general, as you know, we believe that as well, land must be in the custodianship of the democratic state at all times, and it must be given to citizens who must have title deeds, but they can't sell it, to foreign nationals, for an example. And at all times, we've got.
Wow, this is a good example. I love it. This is a good example. They can't sell the land to foreign people. And again, like if, for example, if you want the land, you have a business that you need to run, you can just go to select a land and tell the government or tell Maspar, select, I need this land because I have the business to run on. Maybe if you want to run accommodation, you see the land there, you talk to Maspala, and you take that land, you build your business there. That's going to be beneficial. And that's going to uplift the gap we have in South Africa. Because the gap we have like here is so scary. The gap we have here in South Africa is so scary. I'm talking about the gap between when it comes to land and the gap from whites and black. The gap, people they own 70% of the land. 70, and we own how much percent of the land? 4%. So like you can see the gap is huge. The gap is huge. So it's just like now if you're running a business and can go and claim, so the government, I need to use this land for public use. I want to run a business to serve my community, which is so beautiful, and I love that. I love that. I don't lie, it's so beautiful.
Got to make sure that we know what is happening in our own land. And then we stop the whole process of people taking farmable land where we should be producing food and just making holiday resorts for European visitors.
The land that's supposed to, it provide food to its people, but people from Europe, they're just making holidays. This is how they are living the best life here. This is how they live the best life here than if they can go to Europe, they'll not live the way they are living here. They will never, man. I'm telling you.
Glad you've brought up what is happening, because for me, the big question is this political or is this about justice? And the reason I ask is Cyril Ramaphosa, during the State of the Nation address, spoke about one man who lost his land, saying, do we just leave that? Do we just put that aside and say to him, there will be no justice?
So, like, if I can get you right, she said, like, is this about the political benefits, or this is all about the justice? Justice that black people have been forcefully removed on their own land. Or this thing is all about it's all about the politics. And this is on what I'm asking that question, because of Ramaphosa said what? One man lost his land and something like that.
But I think South Africa has never said there will be no justice. There's always been a process of land restitution. And now we get to a point where we're saying, okay, we need expropriation, but if it's just, then we need information. Are farmers not selling? Are they hiking up prices? Why has the processes that were put in place not worked? There are rumors that some people are not selling, some people are hiking prices, but we have no information.
Like, there some people are doing what? Yeah, like, I think, like, you're right when she said, like, the justice. You mentioned, like, the justice must happen. Not like she mentioned that way, but she said, like, the justice must be follow some processes. And which is so beautiful, because justice must be served. And like you can see DA's focus on what is this? Focus on BEE and DA. You see, like, DA, man, I always say this, man. Like, if you're a black child, you vote for DA. It's clear you don't want the land. It's clear you don't want equality. Because of DA say want to remove BEE. BEE is a program that empower black kids based on what happened during apartheid to have equality. Because of we can't have a country where we're like, when we come, the owners, they own 4%, they stay in the shacks, they're struggling. And the people from Europe, they are owning 70% of the land. Can't be something like that. So they need to be equality. That's where, like, EFF allowed them to put their hands on that. And the only way for us to be equality is when the land is distributed.
No, that's not true. We do. The land policy of the last 24 years has failed precisely because, one, you remember the Malamala deal, where President Zuma had to pay close to $1 billion for some land in Mpumalanga. The prices are very high. One, two.
Pay to who? Billion. Billion. To who? Those. $1 billion, man. This is a crazy price. $1 billion from Mpumalanga.
Two, there's very little of them who are selling. But the question
is there
of justice for us.
Information about this?
Yes, there is. The question of justice for us has to do with buying land that was colonially acquired. It can be correct.
It can't be correct, Shane. It can't be correct. And you mentioned, like, lots of them are not seeing the land. Why they're seeing the land? Maybe, like, I understand, maybe when you bought the land from someone who stole it. But and I remember Julius Malema once read this statement to say, like, even though you buy the land that is stolen, you're a criminal too. If you buy something stolen, for example, someone take your phone, and then when you take your phone, is going to sell it. It's going to sell it. That phone is a criminal phone. Even I buy that phone to the person, that means I committed crime. You understand? That means even like me, I committed crime because of this phone is a stolen product. You get my point? So I don't know, like, maybe we see it differently. maybe we see it differently, but we all know like it goes like that. It goes like that. We all know that. When you steal some that like just stolen, even though like during apartheid you stole the land, and then when you came from Australia or whatever you came from, then you buy the land. It's a stolen land at the point. That's my point. You understand it? I want to see my people. You understand people chat there. Say something, man. Write something there to show like your perspective and you show your comments based on this issue. Let's go. Let's go. Share something. Say something. Say something.
For correcting and for reconciliation purposes, surely we have to find each other that the beneficiaries of the apartheid colonial system, which are mainly white people, multinational companies, have to concede to the fact that for those purposes, land can be bought back. With what money?
With what money? Because let me give you a good example. With what money? There's a question I love. So beautiful. For that question. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You must listen very carefully. You must put whatever you're doing, put it down and give me your attention. Listen, they took our land. They took our land, right? They moved us to squatter camp. More like there's lots of RDPs where black people are staying. Remember, black people, they have nothing. They have no money. So like now they need to survive. These whites are enjoying our minerals. They're enjoying our land. They're enjoying our cows. They enjoy everything that they get from here in South Africa, right? Then after that, they enjoy whatever they get from our people. While our people are staying in the squatter camp, small camps, and while they are still attacking them, our kids need to go to school. With what money? While they stole the land, they stole everything during apartheid. So it happens like now our parents, they need to go to find a job in their own on their own land, in their own country, to find a job to white person, right? The white person give the job as a domestic worker. The person's earning 1,000 or 500. It's too small. Even like Julius Malema mentioned the story of the black child story, where he mentioned like he was waiting for a mom to come with leftovers so they can eat. So our parents are going to work there, and the school is the education is about education. So we need to pay money. With what money? Then after that, our parents fine. When time goes, our parents are working there any 3,000, 4,000 for us to eat for a month. For us to eat for a month, right? After eating for a month, we go to school to varsities with NSFAS, which is EFF was fighting for free education. EFF was been fighting for black child. Free education, then you get bursary, NSFAS. Then after getting NSFAS, you get degree. After getting degree, you get internship, you earn maybe 3,000 or 4,000, 4.5. You pay rent. Rent is stupid, mama. You buy food, you left with nothing. Where are you going to pay the money? You get employment. You are working in the company in mid-rent or 4 ways or something. You earn 25,000 or 30,000. You pay rent there 7,000. You want to buy a car for taxis. You pay 3.5. You have no money to buy the land. Where should we get the money exactly? With what money to buy the land? While others stole the land. People there, when they get the salary is going to debts. They're left with 2,000, 1,000, 3,000. That 3,000 can buy the land. Or again, if it doesn't work, you need to go to bank to buy a mortgage loan, smaller houses. You can't buy the big land. The land must be returned. We understand the situation we are experimenting. We understand the system they build that we must fall for. Come on.
I mean, we are struggling as it is. The reason why Malus Gigaba raised value-added tax is because this government is broke. And then you go
But what about the
to take
rumors?
money to buy land that was taken through a crime against humanity. And our view, in terms of the definition of justice in relation to land reform, is tailored on the question of compensation.
Sure, but then we hear at the same time that government...
With what money? With what money? That's a good question. We should better than we what money? They give us money to buy the land? Because even though you're working there, the money of your working is we what money? Exactly. Tell us. We want money. Stop playing with us, man. Stop making us like you are not even, you can't even think. The land even stolen, go to school, you earn salary. And salary, it is ended on, you left with 1,000, 2,000 after the salary. So how are you going to survive with that?
Government owns vast tracts of land that they could also be used in this process. And again, there's no clear audit on who owns what. Where does the money sit? Where does that history, which land does it lead us to? Surely we need a comprehensive audit.
The Auditor General has given a starting
Where would you say we need to start?
A starting point is the
information.
Give
me a practical example. This land
it is the
taken by this
2017.
mine.
It is the 2017 land.
So like now there's a problem. Other one is talking, other one is talking. Give each other a chance, because I'm like, now I'm in charge now. Give other chance and let's hear what's happening. Let's see the process. Because of the only thing I can tell you, the land topic is an endless topic. Even though EFF will never win, but the future black child who's coming, they're going to talk about the land. Because when they remember to say, like, I'm struggling, on my own country, and then I'm going to hear someone, white men say, like, black people are lazy. We'll be asking ourselves, how? When we go to farms, who are working there? Who are doing the production? Who are so sweating? Do you understand? You understand what I'm saying, sir? Say yes on the comments, on the chat there. Say yes, baby.
And audit, which revealed a whole lot in relation to agricultural land, in relation to urban land, in relation to state land. That information we have, according to the recent land audit.
Why was Cyril
in
Ramaphosa
2017.
asking for an audit on state land, I think?
I don't remember that. I was in Parliament. There is a recent land audit by the Auditor General, and it's there. So what we just have to do is to take that as a starting point. But you remember, our proposal is very simple for that. It says once you pass a law that says all land belong to the state, everybody that...
You see, like now, even you guys, all land belong to state now. Our ancestors lost. I don't know. We have to accept that our ancestors lost their land. Because if you get something like this, all land belongs to state. It's okay, it's good. But those who remember their place, those who remember their home, what about them? This is a question that we need to be asked. This is the importance of reaction video, because this is information that's very educational. It's very educational. I don't want to lie to you. I learn a lot from these brothers of mine. I learn a lot. That's why I keep on reacting like this. I learn a lot from Julius Malema, Ndlozi, Chivambo, EFF. As EFF as a whole, I learn a lot. Was the only party that is there to fight for a black child. They're the only party, man. They can come, they can create others, but EFF, man, is for the youth.
Is busy with the land. Come and declare what you're doing in it. That is going to furnish further with information. In an orderly firm, you say, I'm based in Gauteng, in Ekurhuleni, I own 18 hectares of land and I'm farming maize. You get what I mean? And we know, okay, there is an activity happening here. And we believe that upon all declaration of the activities that are happening on land, it's possible that majority of the land that is usable is not in use. It's just sitting somewhere.
You're right, Ndlozi. You're right, man. Speaking the facts. Definitely right, my boy. Definitely right. Yeah, man. This is an educational video, man. We're here to learn. We're not here to play. We are here to learn from leaders like Ndlozi, and even like other leaders. We're learning a lot.
accumulating capital for people that are not even in South Africa.
Dr. Ndlozi, please just look at this. Mohammed Paruk, we're just looking at a quick tweet to one of your colleagues in the party, Dali Mpofu, when
says the land approaching food security, but if it's not quite, they take responsibility, ensure that nation's food.
Mayan and says that in land expropriation.
Okay, let me understand. Says that in the land appropriation food security is important. EFF is saying not quite so. Will EFF take the responsibility of making sure the nation's fit? So, like, your question, oh, no, it's not about EFF, it's about the black child going to bring the veil to East people. They've been doing that already. Before you guys, Mohammed, black people, they were offering food to their community. Before those people came here and do wrong things to black people. So this question, man, I don't know, maybe, come on, you can do better.
Appropriation, food security is important. EFF is saying not quite so. Will the EFF take the responsibility of making sure that the nation is fed? Secondly, can we expect
the EFF leadership not to eat until the nation has eaten? You see, like EFF make people shake. And you, black child, you need to prove people like this who think you don't have capabilities. Because of EFF is fighting for you. And this is what EFF is saying, like black people don't have capabilities. It's not saying directly, but you can tell. So EFF is going to give you a platform to produce, to run your own business, to run everything you want to run, the business, to feed your people. And you must not disappoint EFF. Because if you disappoint EFF, you're going to give people like this the credit.
The EFF leadership not to eat until the nation has eaten. Okay, a loaded tweet, but I guess the issue there often coming up about food security, I will combine it with a question about Zimbabwe now reversing its policy, saying we are going to compensate the farmers when we took their land away from them. And we are now recognizing that there was some negative fallout from that.
The reality of the matter is simple here. Actually, if you read our founding manifesto in relation to your first.
So again, the advice I will give you, black child, when we get the land, you must make sure how you wake up going to work to make someone else rich or to make those companies not from here rich. It's what we're supposed to do when you get the land and run the farm. Make sure you feed the people, you feed the economy. Because of like lots of whites, they love to say, Zimbabwe, South Africa is going to be like Zimbabwe if they leave. Hey, we need to wake up. We need to put the work. We need to prove them we can do it no matter what. To avoid like this thing of like, here's South Africa going to be Zimbabwe. Here's South Africa is going to be like this. Here's South Africa is going to be like this. I hate those things because of they question our accountability, our strength. So we need to show them who we are. We are not just Africans. We are our own gods.
Question. The question of land and agrarian reform in the EFF manifesto is linked to food security. We believe that there has to be, as much as possible, the local production of the food that we consume. And we made this example on many occasions in Parliament in relation to chicken, for an example. Secondly, and very crucially, is that, look, I mean, the compensation is the central thing here.
So like, the only thing I want to talk about, most of the people, they question black people. Just like, you can farm, you can run this country, you can do this. We can do that. And for us to show them we can do it, we must do it. We must do it because of, I get this kind of comments and they make me sear. They make me like, how they take us. How they take us. So like, make sure like, when we get this, we show who we are. We show them our capabilities.
We don't believe that in relation to the land reform process, there must be compensation. So we don't agree with Munangagwa. We don't agree. And it's possible there we've always been critical of the violence that was associated with taking over the land. That's why it will be bastardization to call what we want a land grab.
So like let's give Chivambo a chance, and then we're going to close with Julius Malema.
Continue our conversation with the second in command of the EFF, and on the line is Bredere from Cape Town. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Bredere. What is it that you want to say?
Good evening, Jane. I would just like to ask Mr. Chivambo the following question. In terms of expropriation of land without compensation, he has indicated that all land should belong to the government. My question is, how will we empower the unemployed? How will people that cannot afford...
He asked Oya's question. Take the land, you create the jobs. South Africa, we have minerals that we can trade, we can make money by trading our minerals to other countries that need our minerals. We make sure like we produce lots of eggs, lots of farmers, businesses, new skills, tags coming. That's the best way to make sure like we create employment. Why you ask obvious question? Let's give Ndlozi what will say the answer. Mr. Chivambo, chance to say like what's going to say about this.
The next meal, how do they expect them to go and rent the land from it?
Thank you.
The question is like how, since they say the land is going to belong to the government, how is going to make sure unemployment rate, the food security, like this kind of stuff. Let's give our leader a chance to speak. So like we all know like there's I'm rigged on this video 2025. Now he's not a part of EFF, he's running his own political party, maybe Africa. So the reason I rigged there is because of the concept of the land and sharing the opinion, so that as a youth, a young black man, as South Africans can understand our history and the topic of the land, because of this topic is endless. This topic is a topic that if the land was returned, everyone's going to talk about it. Everyone, even the young kids who are coming.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I heard that question properly.
She was saying that if you expropriate the land and put it in the state's hands, how is this going to benefit the unemployed?
Look, when the state is having custodianship of all South Africa's land, it will then be able to redistribute it equally to all South Africans.
It's like that. And in that way, it creates jobs. When you ask obvious question.
And that redistribution must then reflect the demographics of South Africa, that because the black African majority constitute 80% of South Africa, they should occupy 80% of South Africa in terms of land ownership and control.
So you must contribute 80 to 90%, then 5% can whites, Indians, Chinese, they can form 10%. 90% is us. It's supposed to be like, this is our country. Yes, people say like, hey, I grew up here, hey, those kind of stories. Yes, we understand you grew up here, but do you understand what happened to us during our apartheid? Do you understand what belongs to us? It's fine if you grew up here and us were owning the land, you're going to work for us. It's like that. The people going to say like, they have been saying South Africa for 50 years. We don't care. Justice must be served. Our sisters are the one who've been slaughtered, who've been removed from their own land. Don't tell about our city, hey, we don't.
And then we'll then see how the other racial categories get to occupy land in South Africa. The reason why we're saying that the state must be custodian of all land is because the attempt to redistribute land piece by piece, buying a piece of land there and there, has dismally failed.
Facts, because of in these sessions we listen to we listen Ndlozi where you say like, I don't know, Zuma was able to pay 1 billion for the land in Mpumalanga. Just imagine our taxes to pay our land that been stolen. We're living the movie. Our old taxes pay the land that have been stolen by force. to our people. So like as the taxes we pay, then we levied nothing after the salary is going to buy the land that. No. And even Mr. Chivambo is on that point. So like this thing of buying land and then is failing. So the land immediately must belong to government, and then black people are going to put, so like, and I take this yard, I take this management, I'm going to stay in this kind of stuff.
50 billion rands later, only like 6% of the land was able to be bought from the previous or the current owners of the land, who are the white colonial settlers, and the state has dismally failed to do that. And in the pace in which it has been moving, it means that if you have distributed 6% within 24 years, it means in 48 years or whatever, distributed 12%.
Okay, but let me
so
ask
that is the challenge that we're dealing with. Then we're saying that let us agree in principle.
Hey, leader, you marinate, eh? You like, eh? Aye, man, this guy is killing it. It's killing it. That's very important to watch this video, to learn from these people what they're saying, because they've been in the game. You can't be 15 years, 16 years, 20 years, and then you're going to come not listen to these people, but you want to understand what the topic of the land. You must listen to this about us, man, who've been fighting for us, who've been making others who came here and do wrong things for society to be shaky and man, this is so beautiful, man. And no party like EFF, man, will no party in South Africa. No party. But it's just that like black people are still sleeping on EFF. But this thing, man, is the future. We all can say it.
That one, let us amend the constitution to permit for expropriation of land without compensation. Two, let us pass a legislation on redistribution of land in terms of how then do we allocate land to different individuals for different purposes. It might be residential purposes, it might be agricultural purposes, it might be commercial purposes,
let me ask
it
you
might be
quickly,
educational purposes that get to deal with all of those issues.
I want to quickly ask you something.
Wow, that's good, man. That's good. I love how you break it down, how you explain it. So like the land must be distributed into different categories. It can be educational, it can be commercial, it can be agriculture, it can be, but the land must be shared. Wow. What a beautiful time, man. This is a beautiful time to watch this, man. It is a beautiful time, and I want to see engagement. People, let's engage there. Let's engage, because these topics are very good, man. So let's engage. I want to see the comments booming. I want to see people having a chat, yeah, sharing their opinion, sharing their whatever they're believing in. Let's go.
Before we lose Moran on the line from the ball, where do you get your confidence in the government from, in the state here? I mean, look at what's been happening with SOEs. I mean, how are they going to suddenly change the way they operate and suddenly become super efficient and wiping out corruption and land flowing freely?
Again, that is a very lazy argument. Where do you get the hope from? The market model of land redistribution has dismally failed. Look at how capitalism has excluded majority of our people. Look at how capitalism.
I'm talking about government here now.
I'm saying that
control. They can't even say that.
So like now is the argument. It's just like, hey, you want to make this about the government is failing and what. So like now I'm talking about the government. Let's explain about the process. Even the process that included government. It was under the government. So you explain it with the hi my guys, now we're here to play. Man. Listen to this young man. Yeah?
You can't then say, like, in terms of what is the model of ownership of land in South Africa now, you have got portions of land that are owned by the state. That includes the forestries that deal with plantations which are being utilized now by SAPI and Mondi for paper purposes. Almost all that land is being leased to those companies for the forestry purposes and the business in that particular sector. There's not been any disruption. And by the way, the land which is attracting most
let's get the comments. Let's get the comments because of this topic is itchy and you are a passenger in a stolen car and you know the only much innocent you can come. So this is a good example. Most of the time they use. Look forward to the time when I can sleep at night knowing that the people of SA have homes and are treated with dignity. Yes, the government we trust, especially is giving efficiency and a good impact. For now, why not release 4,000 farms that owned by government so that we can how people can handle that land? Focus on Floyd. I am a white South African paying my bond. I can't wait for my free piece of land via EFF. I like how Deputy President keep his composure and how this is not communism. White tears are always in the saltiest. Unfortunately, great reply sounds great in words but never works in reality. Is anyone right to protect themselves? He spoke very well despite of these paid callers. This is not about the hating the white people. This is about the land distribution to people that were killed and their land were taken by force. And once we take all the land, how do you decide how to distribute it all? It won't be done by lottery auction. No.
Investments in South
So
Africa is land that is in the special economic zones. All that land in Richards Bay, in Kucha, in East London, in the Dube Trade Port in KwaZulu-Natal, and now will be in Malut Apofum and in the Musina, is owned by the state, and that is where most investments get to happen in South Africa in terms of what happens. So the issue that the state cannot deal with land allocation for specific purposes.
You believe they can if they want to?
It can.
Okay. All right, let's bring in Moran from the Val. Go.
This topic, Mona, is no, what I'm doing now. This topic, man, is like this topic is so challenging, man. I don't wanna lie.
Go ahead, Moran.
It's Maureen. How are you?
Sorry, Maureen. Go ahead.
How are you? Mr. Chivambo, I would like you to please explain to me, since that you and Malema hate white people and Indians, what is it then that my child...
No, ma. Doesn't mean we always speak we hate people. They hate white people by doing what? Because they speak the truth. They speak what happened and what must happen, so there can be justice and equality in this country. Why is it like they hate people in public space? But let him answer that question. But I just want to remove the mindset, even like you, if you're in Europe or you're European and what, doesn't mean when Julius Malema must speak the truth and say like the land must be returned. You know what happened in South Africa? We must be all equal. He hate. Come on.
Out as a future citizen of this country is supposed to be looking at as one nation for everybody. What must I say to my son what a rainbow nation is? Because you are teaching him now racism is a way to go.
Look, the EFF doesn't hate white people. None of us hate white people. I'm talking to you, you're a white person. If I hated white people, I wasn't going to come and speak to you. We hate and despise white supremacy.
Let me explain to what is a white supremacy is. White supremacy is those one who think they are better than others. In South Africa, people they come from Europe. After that, they feel like they are better than us in our own country. For example, this guy is always on podcast and he mentions like white people pursue when it comes to academics. White people are always on top. And this mindset of when whites are leaving this country, we're going to suffer. It's like when you go to farms, when you go to every companies, there's no white people are putting their sweat there. So white supremacists, those one who think they're better than others. Even like now, when Ramaphosa signed the bill about reclaiming the land that has been stolen and forcefully removed, and where our parents have been killed, the youth been killed, they ran to Trump because they believe Trump government is better than South African government. This is a white supremacy. What they have done with this Forum to say like Every matter, even our government can rule a matter, especially about the child. The government, the court ruled the matter about the child, but they said we're going to take this matter to Trump. That's why white supremacy enter. So like other people, they believe they are better than others. That's what definition of white supremacy.
An undue white privilege that was bequeathed to the current people in South Africa through colonialism and settler colonialism that got to rape and harass our people and kill thousands of our people defenselessly in terms of how it was, because the
why us must be God, why us must behave big every time, even though our ancestors experienced those things, even though we lost land and someone come to say Julius Malema, EFF hate whites. Why us must always settle for less? And yes, it happens. Our parents have been killed, have been doing wrong things, the land been stolen from us. As we're only one who deserve to live in poverty. And when our leaders speak the truth, they hate. Hey, this level is Mangalizu. How? It's not like youth or people that are not watching. It's not like we are not listening. We are listening and we see how this works. For years, Julius Malema go to court because he speaks the truth. How? How? Why, guys? Here too. Hey, why you hate? Hey, na Swaba, man, Swaba.
The colonizers took over our land through murdering our people, through rape, through dispossessions and forced removals. And we hate the white supremacy whose foundation is the land ownership, whose foundation is the economic inequalities. That is why we are then saying we are in an economic freedom fighter that seeks to take back the land, to take back the economic resources for equal redistribution. And we think that is going to deal with the racism.
Here too. If like, no, listen, don't come here and act like you're genius. If you come here and say like, if Nelson Mandela say like, we want revenge, do you want to have that chance to ask? Because we are people who are peaceful. If Nelson Mandela say like, what we have done to our people, we want to do to you, to our people, just revenge. But we're not like that. How? Here too. This hey, why make us angry in the morning? Isn't the morning and we are angry?
Do you think people will be unduly punished when that happens? I mean, how do you determine who gets what? And that's probably what Maureen is saying as well. I mean, is there a place for everybody in South Africa? Is there a place? I mean, how are you going to make sure that it's correct who gets what?
There is a place for everybody. Like, we will never pass a policy that white people will not gain access to the land when it's under the custodianship of the state. We're going to gain access to the land, all of us. But that land ownership.
How? And I think like lots of youth, they must start to do these kind of topics and content. You understand? And the important thing, we need to thank Julius Malema, man, because of he give us the wisdom. He's the one who was bravest in Africa as a whole. And without this guy will be traumatized. People, they know the truth. They know the truth. They know the truth, but they act like they don't know the truth. How? People come to, every time they act as victim, hey. Every time.
Ultimately, must be reflective of the demographics of South Africa.
Will you take it away?
It cannot be correct. It cannot be correct that the white minority, which is 5% of the population, as is the case now, continues to own and control more than 80% of South Africa's land.
Just imagine. Hey, don't come with stories. Don't come with stories here. We're not buying your stories now, man. We are not buying your stories. How? They don't care about together. They care about themselves most of the time. They care about themselves. Most of the time, they care about themselves. They don't care about other people's feelings. It's all about them. So as we must serve, as we deserve to serve. Never.
Will you take it away from the Zulu King?
Let me explain to you something which is very simple. The Ingonyama Trust Board administers the land which used to belong to the KwaZulu homeland.
Why do you compare themselves with Zulu people? I had other ones saying like, hey, we need to have our land because of Zulu is this is their home. Your home is Europe. You came here as a settler. Your home is Europe. You need to put in your mind. And then start comparing themselves with Zulu. So like there's a Zulu land, there's a Tswana land, there's a Sotho land, there's a Pedi land, there's a Tsonga land. Because we're from here, this is our land. Doesn't mean when your fathers came here and dominated our ancestors and took everything, you can demand to say like, why you compare yourself with one, compare yourself with. Oh my God, what's wrong with these people? Oh my God, this is a problem. We have a huge problem to deal with here. We have a long way. We have a long way.
Ingonyama Trust Board is an entity of the Department of Rural Development. It's a state entity. So in actual fact, if you check even the Ingonyama Trust Act itself, it admits that ultimately the state is in ownership of the land which Ingonyama Trust Board is currently administering. So there's no need to then deal with that in that format that of.
They always want to compare themselves with people who've been abused, people who've been killed, people who've been removed from their land. Every time, why this compare? What's wrong? What's wrong? They always want to compare themselves with people who've been forcefully removed from their own land. They always want that. They always put that point. What about Zulu? What about this? This is their own land. They're from here. And your people came here and they beat their ancestors. They removed the. Come on, put in your mind, man.
But that's not going very well, is it? It's not a very good example. We've got corruption there, the way women are treated. I mean, that's not the perfect example.
Yes, exactly what we said when we met with the Congress of Traditional Leaders.
Women treating, what do you mean? I hate this thing. What do you mean, women treating? Because you come to our culture and tell us how to behave. This is an African culture. How women behave, how women treating, they're treating like what in Zulu? For Zulu, as a man, can have 2 wives, 3 wives, and you celebrate. They not sleeping, and you know your role as a woman, as African culture. Why do you enter to African culture especially? That's the thing about them. They love to enter with things they don't want them. Where do we enter you to African culture? Because you know nothing about African culture. I don't know how women treating. You think this is Europe? You can those questions about how women treating. I don't know how they're treating because I know in Zulu, all know in Zulu, the biggest tribe in South Africa because of a belief in a family, believe in Stembu, a believe in marriage, believe in family. Where do we enter that? Ever two.
Of South Africa, contra lesser, to say that let us change the rules and the parameters within which traditional leadership allocates land, particularly in rural areas, that there must be consistency in terms of...
She don't talk about the land now. She talk about how women are treated. Where do we enter to African culture from the first place? Because we know nothing about African culture. Listen, black child, no European will tell you about your culture. No European will tell you about your Tswana culture, your Zulu culture, your Xhosa, your Pedi, your Tsonga. No one will do that. They know nothing about it. Whether you studied a lot, but you know nothing about African culture, you know nothing about our ancestors.
Principles that are applied, that there must not be gender discrimination, that there must not be allocation of same piece of land to many people, and that there must not be charging of any leases and rentals, as is the case with the Ingonyama Trust Board now, which charges individuals either 1,000 rand or 4,000 rand or an inconsistent amount for the land, for those people to utilize the land. Ingonyama Trust Act or board will play a role in terms of allocation of land, but there must be those principles that we're talking about. And that land and the board itself it's an entity of the Department of Rural Development. It's part of the state.
It's part of the state. Oh, come on, it's part of the state. They're the one who want to separate themselves from us, are the ones who want to separate themselves from us. The state, in Northwest, we had, I don't know what happened to that because of, I see was trending. Maybe it's Putatswana, ended. And like, not like they think about, I hate people who love to talk about African culture, even though you're not African. I hate it. And they don't respect our culture. These are topics that we need to focus on. I know it's touchy, it's emotional, but we need to protect our African. We are African. We have no business with Allah. We have no business with Christianity, Muslim, Christianity. We have no business with them. We are African people. And these people, they come to our life to tell them how we worship the devils and what. That's where problems start, because when you start to mention how women are treating KZN, this topic is all about the land. When you enter about how women are treating KZN, because there's a culture that protects the women. There's a culture that say women, they need to behave like this, men they need to behave like this. It's our African culture. Don't come with your Europeans here to us. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It will just have to be aligned into the constitutionality of South Africa that deals with issues of discrimination and the inconsistency in terms of application of rules.
Okay, we've got another call on the line. Tibo, ahead.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I think we both well. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is for Floyd. So the EFF normally has a history of violence. Floyd manhandled journalists, and there are faith celebration. There's security guards beat up civilians. So is this the kind of EFF that you should expect come 2019? And when?
So your question is, how people they're just asking question for the sake of a question. The EFF body got beat a Syrian, like you said. So how do the EFF enter there? Because you can't control how individual behaves. Come on. These people that try to bring EFF down. Let's give
And when they become the next governing party of the Republic of South Africa, should we expect more violence from them? Because seemingly they do have a track record of violence with them. Thank you.
Hi, other questions, man. Other questions,
Thank you, Tibo.
So that is called reductionism. I mean, like, why would you want to think that a political organization, because of an incident of one person having a
but you are
scaffold
supposed to show the moral high ground.
That is,
and
that
those
is a very
mistakes can't happen.
It's a very sorry. I would actually, it's a very sorry. This organization has been in existence for 5.
Those mistakes happens because of is a EFF is powerful. They look everything and then they're going to bring to public. He beat that person. He done what? What happened? What is the story behind it? Let's get a body of story and come to public space and try to make EFF look bad. What are you saying exactly? Come on, you used to do those things, man.
5 years now, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, but you don't want to see leaders attacking journalists.
And I'm talking about 2 incidents, and then you then say that therefore, when the EFF becomes government, is going to be a violent organization.
Okay, well,
that
answer the question. That's the impression that Tebogo has been given.
I'm making an observation first, and then the
these are good. Defend EFF, Chivambo. Defend EFF. These people are going to try to bring EFF down. But like I said, at the youth, we are watching. And this video is for 7 years back. We were watching and learning.
Is that the EFF is not going to be a violent government. The EFF is going to be an organization of peace and make sure that everyone else exists properly and that the rule of law is applied consistently to those that violate the law, even those that become violent against other people for no clear reason. So that is one of the issues that must be clarified. We're not a violent organization.
It's not. They know. They know very well. They know where they just want to make destruction.
Organization and will never be violent, and to then want to conclude that the EFF is violent because of some minute issues is a reductionist, and it's a very sorry observation.
Okay, but for some people, it doesn't seem minute, and attacking the media is never minute. Do you think that relationship might change? Do you think it'll change in with the elections coming up? And I'm just wondering what your game plan is for the 2019 elections. What do you need to do to get more followers? Where to from here?
Do you know, Jane? Maybe we're not here in South Africa when the EFF was formed and it existed for.
I know all about you.
Yeah, let's give you.
Guys, the video is done, but EFF is the future. We all know that. Stay tuned. I love so much. Thank you for those who support me. Thanks for watching this video. Bro, get some brains. Yeah, I know, like, people like you, man. Don't worry. We have the brains. We have the brains, man.